Hey friends, family, and gems. Welcome back to my channel. Now for today's video, I just want to give a quick disclaimer that this is for entertainment and educational purposes only, with my own opinion being filtered in. This is based upon my own personal experience of what happened when I lost my mom in 2014 and how I got through the holidays with everything. All right. For today's video, as you can see by the title of the video itself, this is not an upbeat, cheerful video. This is one that I was planning on waiting to make probably for next year. Currently, I am filming this right now in November of 2020. And one of my really good friends just lost her mom unexpectedly. Just a hard one to do. And then just within the past 6 weeks, I know of other people who are, whether they're friends or people that, acquaintances that I have become close with over time, that they have unexpectedly lost a loved one. Unfortunately, it's either parents or children that they have lost. And this is a challenging time for me personally anyways, just because my mom's birthday was November 19th and we would have done a whole lot of fun stuff together. So it does hit a little bit harder, especially with the holidays. And with so many people that are losing loved ones right now, regardless of the situation, it sucks. I'm really going to try not to filter myself with this one and just lay as much as I can on the line without boring you all. Because I do appreciate your time. So I want to try to do this video and in hopes of trying to help you, and in hopes of maybe in the future you can turn around and spread some of that love and inspiration and hope to others that are going through a challenging time. So with that being said, the things that I'm going to share, again, are my own personal opinions or experiences. Every person mourns differently. Every person goes through different situations. No two things are the same. Losing a parent or a guardian, someone that raised you, versus loving your significant other and losing them, or your child, or it's different levels and different spectrums. So for me, I'm just going through my experiences of dealing with the holidays and losing my mom and how I try to get through those times. One of the first things that I want to point out is when it comes to the holidays itself, it is going to be a challenge. I wish I could tell you differently. And for you watching at home right now or wherever that you are, I wish that I was there with you right now just to give you a hug, even if I've never met you in person. Because it's so challenging, especially when you go out and you see other people enjoying the holidays. For me, that selfish side really came out, because one of the things that my mom and I used to do together is we would just like going out and going shopping and going out to eat in restaurants and, being able to do things together and doing them with my mom, which is my mom's mom. And she's still here. She's still kicking butt. My mom is. And it breaks my heart even to this day of when I do force myself to go out, because I don't like to anymore. I mean, losing my mom and then going out even with my daughters, it's getting better than it was that first year, but still, when I see other moms and daughters together, and especially when they have their kids with them, and they have their smiles on their faces, and I'm happy for them, and I'm at that point where I'm happy for them about 80% of the time. But to start off with, it was more of 20% of, oh, that's nice, and why is it that I don't get to do that with my mom? How is this fair? And life is not fair, and it sucks, and it hurts, and you have to come up with new ways to get around and to keep on living, especially if you have kids with you too, that you don't be afraid to share with them if you start breaking down and crying for whatever reason. It's fine. It's normal. It's okay. Because you're going to keep building and you're going to keep getting stronger. You're now living a new version of your life, whether you were planning for it or not. My mom passed away from cancer, so my family and I, we had time to prepare. And when that time came, I mean, how do you prepare? So we did the best that we could. And the holidays were always so special to my mom. Growing up, she always made the holidays as if it was like all the Christmas decorations were just fully thrown out into the living room and throughout the house and outside, and birthdays were celebrated a whole week. Sometimes my mom insisted on 2 weeks, especially if you ended up on a weekend. It was that week before, the week after, doing gatherings and things like that. And I want to tell you too that when I lost my papi, which was my mom's dad, I was 7, almost 8. And my mom, I have no idea how she did it, because she was so strong. And she still put up the Christmas decorations at Christmas. And following up, even before Christmas, for Halloween, for Thanksgiving, for Christmas, for New Year's, for Valentine's Day, for St. Patrick's Day, for Easter, and then approaching that 1-year anniversary of his passing. And I don't even remember her being as emotional as I was during those times, because she just put on what I like to refer to as the Disney face. And she masked it so well, just so that way I could have a good day. And I'm not as strong as she was when it comes to that, because I just have a challenging time to put up the decorations. And at first I was really upset with myself. And I had counseling to help me out through it too. And I would just keep asking, like, why? Why is it that I don't want to put up the decorations? Why don't I want to celebrate the way that we did? Why don't I care as much as I did? But yet I still want to put together a memorable celebration for my family, but trying to push forward with a smiling face and acting like everything is okay when it wasn't. I couldn't do that. And so for me, I had to talk to the girls. My husband Dexter was phenomenal too, in helping me throughout all of that too. And he understood if I just had to step away for a moment and just to take care of myself and to collect my emotions, and just that I could come back into that situation with a clear head and to be able to be present in that moment without having to put on a front. When I go out right now, even to this day, I know that I still go out and I put on a front around the holidays, because for me now, I don't want people to ask me or to think that I'm upset with them, or for them to ask me what is wrong. I don't want to go into that. And there are some times where I don't feel like that, where I'm okay that if somebody asks me, what's going on, is everything okay? And then I'll tell them. I mean, for those of you who know me in person too, you'll know that I wear my heart on my sleeve. I will pretty much open up to you to tell you what is going on. So in getting through the holidays, I put out the decorations that I can. Now, especially if you lost your loved one right around the holidays right now, that might be the last thing from your mind. That's okay. You're going to be okay. I promise you. It's so different. It really is. The way that I equate this is as if you were reading a really good book or watching a wonderful movie, and that had its ups and downs, and you were emotionally invested into the characters that you were learning about. Then all of a sudden the movie ends, or all of a sudden the book ends. And you're like, well, what the crap? I want to know what happened. Why did this stop? Like, what happened to these characters? And then they come out with the sequel, and one of the characters is no longer there. And that's how it feels, that sometimes you're not ready for that chapter to be over. You're not ready for that movie to be over. And here comes life coming on in, whatever your religious backgrounds are, beliefs, things like that. And in a blink of an eye, it's gone, and everything that's changed forever. And it is challenging. It will be challenging to get through. I have met some wonderful, supportive people through different groups. I'm going to post a couple of those links down below as to where you can reach out, and don't be afraid if you reach out, then all of a sudden it's just like, nah, I don't want to go to a meeting. I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to meet anybody over Zoom. I just want to text message somebody, things like that. Because I had those moments too. Sometimes I was okay going into a group and talking with others, and other times I just wanted that one-on-one, and then other times I just would shut down completely. So reach out to other people who are going through a similar situation that you are. Again, every situation is different. My sister-in-law, so it's Dexter's sister-in-law, and she was extremely, extremely helpful to me to get through those times when I knew that the time was coming that my mom was going to go, and asking her about how did you get through the holidays, and without sharing too much information because that is her story, her parents had passed, and so I would ask her different things that I didn't know how I was going to handle. So just hearing other people's inputs, it did help, and it did help for me to meet other people and to know that I'm not alone. I'm not going through this situation alone. And that brings me to another thing that I want to bring up too, is that after someone passes, there is so much love and support around you. And for me, I equate that to having a baby, because as soon as you have a baby or a new family member comes into that family unit and everybody is just, oh my gosh, I want to help you with this, I want to do this, I want to do that. And sometimes it's a little much and it's like, oh, just kind of back down a bit. And then I'd say about 3 months later, it's quiet. Your phone stops ringing. You're not getting text messages like you were. Your social media sites are going silent as well. You're not getting the, hey, how are you? And everybody moves on with their life. And you're still in that mode of, I lost this person. How am I supposed to get through this? How am I supposed to go to a celebration for a holiday that I do not feel very happy about right now? I am very upset, and I don't understand why others are just going about like it's no big deal. And when you have all the support there, it might feel overwhelming, but take advantage of it. Grab a hold of it, let it be. People will, some people might offer to make you dinners or get you gift cards for dinners or meals, or offer to watch your kids so you and your significant other can go out, or maybe you yourself can just go out and maybe get pampered or whatever. And you might feel guilty about doing that, and that's okay too. It's perfectly fine, because pretty soon, don't be surprised if it just goes quiet. And that was one of the challenging times too, was that when my mom had passed, a few months later, then the school year started up again. And everyone was talking, my mom was a teacher, and people were starting to talk about the upcoming school year and how exciting it was and how they were looking forward to it and so on and so forth. Meanwhile, I'm like, my mom's classroom is being taken over by somebody else. Like, how does that happen? Why don't they have this preserved? Why don't they have it like in memory of? Again, I know it's completely selfish, but I want to share my experience with you with no filter, and to let you know it's fine to feel this way. It's fine that you don't understand how people can keep going on, because a few years down the road, you're going to be one of those too that is able to keep going on with your life, but yet somebody else is going through a very difficult time. And most likely they're not going to say, hey, I'm having a very difficult time. Can you just stop celebrating your birthday because I'm having a tough time? We're not going to do that. And it's one of those too that, like, when the 1 year anniversary comes by of you losing your loved one too, you've made it through all of the holidays, you made it through all of the milestones, you've gone through all the first day of summer without your loved one, you've gone through the first day of fall, you've gone through sporting events that they're no longer watching, and you're still going through whatever that you celebrated with that person. You have successfully made it to that point of going through the first without them. And when that 1 year comes by, you may get a card or, maybe a text message or something of somebody just letting you know, hey, I was thinking of you today. I know that it's probably difficult for you to go through, and things like that. And that means a lot. I received a card from hospice on the year anniversary of when my mom passed, and it really meant a lot to me. And I saw this, it was probably a show on YouTube or, something like that, where they were speaking with this one guy, and he had gone through something similar where he actually keeps track of when someone passes, or when someone was having a difficult time. Maybe they were, but they achieved some type of milestone. So for example, they, I can't even think of the words right now, but maybe they got through rehabilitation, or they were out of jail now, or something that was so significant that will now forever change their lives. And he kept track of these things for his friends and family, and he would kind of send out a card or not kind of, he did. He would send out a card, he would send out an email or a text message or call the person up saying, hey, letting you know, congratulations, you made it to that 1 year of being sober, or, I know that today is the 1 year anniversary of your mom passing. I'm so sorry. I hope everything is going well. Please let me know if there's anything I can do. I'm here for you. I love you. And he continued to do that for every anniversary. And I thought that is really something that is phenomenal, because we all are humans. It is very normal for all of us to move on with our lives. Those that we have lost would not want us to just dwell on the fact that they're not here. But you want them to keep on living, because as that saying goes, that you may pass away, but then your legacy will continue on only if people talk about you. And by continuing on and sharing moments that were special between you and that person, and talking about them and putting their picture up on your social media sites or whatever that you can do to not only help yourself, but to kind of remind those too of, I'm having a hard day, but I just don't want to, I just don't want to be on that sympathy train. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want people just to go out of their way, and whether it's an act or it's heartfelt, where they're like, oh, I'm so sorry that you're going through this, but they feel obligated to. Do you know what I'm saying? It's one of those that you do not want to be in that situation, and you want to put on that brave front. And that's what's nice about having others around you, when they do acknowledge, hey, I saw your mom's picture, and if they go ahead and say something really kind, oh, she was a wonderful teacher, or I really missed how she laughed, or how she smiled, or how she swore up and down that the Detroit Lions were going to the Super Bowl. Can you tell that I'm talking about my mom? Those are the things that mean a lot. So from this point, if you have just freshly lost someone within the year and you're having a challenging time, I just want to remind you, you are okay, and you will be okay, I promise. It's not going to be easy. Things are not going to be back to normal again. This is a new normal, but you can do it, right? And have faith, whatever that your belief is, whatever your spiritual background is too. One more thing I want to share before I let you all go. Hospice had told me before my mom had passed that, again, whatever religion, whatever background, it did not matter, because the nurse had seen so many people pass in her time of work that before they passed, they would tell others that they could see someone that has been gone for a long time. And whether it was within that transitional moment from them passing to being gone here on earth, or if it was leading up to it, such as my mom's case, someone that was so important to them will be there to guide them. So if the person that you lost was alone, and it's making it difficult for you to even think about them through the holidays, let alone passing by themselves, I can almost guarantee you they were not by themselves. Because what I have seen and gone through with my mom passing, her dad was there, my poppy, and her grandma, my mom's mom, was there with her. My mom, thankfully, was able to have her wish of having her mom, my mom, there with her when she took her last breath. And she was not alone when she had to go through that transitional phase. So if it offers you any peace for the holidays, know that your loved one is at peace. And that's the sucky part about being a human, is that you were left behind, having to still go 24/7, full throttle, 365, living, breathing, talking, interacting with others when there are times that you don't want to. Keep going. You've got this. I have faith in you. And I'm going to leave you with the last 4 words that my mom ever said on the morning of when she passed. And those were, thank you, love you.